All right. Hi, everyone. I'm a little early here. I'm not going to be on here for very long. And actually, I wasn't going to come on at all uh, because I'm kind of running late with everything and winding down and get everything done for the night before, I go to bed. Um, but I'm kind of cranky, so I'm going to come on here and I'm going to talk because that's what I do. I'm kind of cranky because I was actually really happy with the live stream I did earlier. And for whatever reason, and it's done this to me before, but for whatever reason, hey Amanda, it's not uploading. Like it's still processing and it's done this to me before and I've always been able to kind of like figure out how to get it to go on, but like the after you stream is like the critical time for it to be up for people to restream, and if it takes too long, like nobody even knows it's there. So hi, Poison Ivy. Oh, I'm so sorry you're sick. That sucks. Hey, anxious for peace. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here too long. I was supposed to be on here earlier. I had a whole like topic, but then I got really sidetracked trying to get my stupid live stream to go on, and it's still not up. And I'm getting really frustrated with it. So I might just take it down and then re-upload it. Or if for some reason it magically appears overnight and people notice that the live chat isn't there, I thought maybe removing the live chat would make it upload faster. I have no idea what the problem is. And I've Googled it, I've looked, I don't know. I clicked a bunch of buttons once and it worked, and I can't figure out how to do that again. But yeah, I was, perusing the YouTube streets tonight, as I think many of us were. And I just stumbled upon what was going over in Natasha, her true crime queen or recliner lady queen or whatever. Guys, wait till you see my new intro for my channel because you guys are gonna die laughing. It's amazing. um and I hope nobody takes it like there I know someone's going to come over to me and say that like I think too much, very much highly of myself, and that's not the purpose. Like anybody who knows me and like gets my sense of humor will understand that, but it's going to be good. Hey Liberty Farmer, I'm really excited about it, and I'm hoping I can like maneuver it so it's not like copyright material, but yeah, it's like a kid's, you guys will see. I'm really excited about it. you know um Dorothy's little intro inspired me. I'm not really sure how I might use it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's gonna be fun. No, but I just so happened to wander on there, and there is somebody in our community. I just happened to go into that channel when there's somebody who is active in our community was on there calling her out, and she was just saying some really awful things. Now, the thing I know about the person that she was kind of going after, the thing about that though, is that I'm sure they were probably laughing. Like I'm if the person is who I think they are, I don't think that they were like hurt by what she was saying. I think they were going in there to like poke the bear, and I thought it was funny, but like I'm really glad it was somebody who knew what they were doing with that, and not some like innocent subscriber who said the wrong thing and gets eaten alive by some creator that they thought liked them. But yeah, shout out to oh my god, what is their name? Natasha Victim, because I mean, her responses, man. I mean, if that doesn't say anything about how she really feels about things, I don't know what does. Because she was super smug and just super full of all sorts of southern drawl, and I mean, she kind of got me fired up because I'm like, dude, do you hear yourself? Hey, Michelle. With the prevalence, and like a lot of us have children, and a lot of us have children who have suffered some sort of bullying, whether it's in school or online. And some of the shit, pardon me, you know what? It's 10:30 here. I'm gonna swear if I want to, but some of the shit that was coming out of her mouth was just insensitive. And I was kind of horrified, especially like she wants to say that people can't be bullied on the internet. Like, how do you dictate how other people feel or react? That's like so insulting to people who have, cyberbullying is a thing. There's a reason that laws are becoming prevalent. Like, oh my God, saying that if her child ever came to her and said that they were a victim of somebody on the internet, she would be really embarrassed and ashamed of them. Really, really, really. Okay, Natasha, whatever you say, whatever you say. I mean, I guess I'll just go back to mommy and daddy to get my allowance, right? No, no, I make my own money. Thank you very much. But yeah, she was just, I haven't even listened to the full thing, and I actually even wasn't going to come live, and then she just got me so riled up, especially with that thing about bullying on the internet, and how I just thought that's really insensitive. Like, how many people in her chat probably, I mean, right, she doesn't She really doesn't, Liberty, and that's the thing. Like, it bothered me. It did. You know, if you wanted to bother me, Natasha, that bothered me. You want to know why it bothered me? Because a lot of people are victims on the internet of people like you who come on here and take advantage of people who are in vulnerable places, whether they know it or not. Yeah, right? Exactly. Oh, but collect. Right. Thank you, Poison Ivy. Boom. I just clapped. Oh, perfect. Hey, Rody Gal. I think I don't remember if I said hi to you, but hello. That's perfect, Poison Ivy. Exactly. You know, if you're not a bully, if you're not a victim of anybody on the internet, why the flying F nuggets are you collecting 20 grand because people are bullying you? It doesn't make any sense. Make that make sense. If you want a free cruise, why are you having people pay for your vacation? Make that make sense. It doesn't. It's frustrating. And I apologize if things start getting kind of loud here. It's because somebody just came home and the dogs are excited. And thank God they're taking the dogs out. Okay. Good. Right. Right. People have literally heard them. I think there was somebody, I'm not going to mention any names, but there was somebody in who comes in our chat occasionally. There's somebody in Dorothy's chat today who shared her story about, you know, her experience with bullying and how much that affected her. Natasha victim, there you are. Okay, I was just talking about you. I was saying I was glad it was you that was in there because I feel like you were just silently laughing at her responses. I don't think like you took those to heart. If you did, I'm really sorry that you took those to heart, but I don't think you did. I have a feeling you were just poking the bear and you got some responses that were really eye-opening. So thank you for that. I don't know what I know she just went on. I just got a notification. I don't know what she's talking about or going on about today, but there's just some nastiness going on these YouTube streets on all fronts. Like, I'm not familiar with what's going on, like with Country Joe and the people that are coming to chats where she is. And how is that fair? If you don't like Country Joe, why are you following everywhere that she goes? Like, I can't stand that. It drives me up a wall. Like, if somebody tells you, like, that's the thing, like, you know, even though it might be the internet and we all might be behind, like some of us, you know, cam up and some of us are behind our pictures or something else or whatever. But if an adult tells you to stop or no, that means stop or no. Like, it's getting taken too far. And you know, there's a right way to be petty and kind of, you know, bitchy to each other and kind of do drama, and then there's a way that's just taking it too far. And I'm seeing a lot of the taking it too far. No, I have, Amanda, I've been meaning to check out that channel. I've been like preoccupied with like my own. I don't know what happens with my days. I get lost in my work, so I had a lot of work to do today. And that took up the majority of my day with phone calls. But I'm mad because I really like that. I really, really liked the stream I did earlier. I was really proud of that. I think we had a really good discussion. And, you know, stupid StreamYard or YouTube, I don't know who's at fault. I might have to re-upload that tomorrow. And I'm kind of pissed because then you start all over with the analytics. And then, like, you know, nobody sees it. I think people should see that one. That's a good one. I will go check it out. Hey, hashtag. Is it afternoon where you are? Jeez. You must be on the other side of the. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm bad with time. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's late here. Hey, Irish Crime and Coffee Time. Yeah, I'm excited to see you here. Because yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's just some weird stuff going on around here, and you know what? I think that now more than ever, we need to just kind of try to get along. You know, I think that, you know, whether you I mean, I do have an opinion on TT, and I think what happened last time is the same. It's kind of like brought in almost as like, you know, a diversion to distract people from what's important and kind of like blow up in everybody's face. And like, yeah, okay, I'm glad you found that entertaining because I was like, you're literally getting everything that I would want her to say out of her right now. And you're just like, you're getting her to say it how she really feels. Like, that's the real her, that smug, you know, just that, exactly what she said. And I'm just glad it was you and not somebody who actually took it seriously. Because there are people that would. 12:37. So are you on like the other side of like the globe for me? Like Australia or something? That's the only, maybe. Or is I'm bad with time zones. All I know is that I went to, when I was in Japan, the flight to Japan, not the flight there was so bad, but the flight home was brutal. Like, it traumatized me. Like, I get claustrophobic in planes. Oh, South Korea. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I have not been there, but my dad has spent some time there, doing it with his work. But yeah, the flight to Japan, I mean, good lord. I mean, the one home anyway. Like, I am forever claustrophobic and traumatized from how long that flight was in like coach with like screaming babies all around you. It's and I was like 12, and like it was dark because it was like overnight, so I couldn't even play my Game Boy because back then like there wasn't a built-in light on your Game Boy. You had to have one that, actually, you know what? They didn't have the ones plugged in then. So I was really bored. Let's see. Yeah, I like to see when people get riled up too, as long as it's somebody who knows what they're doing and isn't. Yeah, the flights are forever. And that was the worst one I've been on. Like, I've always wanted to go to Australia. Like, it's like bucket list, like ultimate bucket list. But like just the idea of being on a plane for that long, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that, especially because like, even if it's like, is you'd go to, from, I'm on the East Coast, so you'd go to California first and then from there over. And even with that break, it's still it's like, actually that adds an additional 6 hours. So, that's like almost 20 hours on a plane. That's only first class would I do that. So I might do a fundraiser, maybe I could get a fundraiser for a private jet or something. I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, I like to see when people get riled up too, but like only if it's the right person. You had the advantage. Really? She has you blocked on the recliner channel? Well, she doesn't have a, maybe. I just think that's funny. It's funny because she just shows everybody like her true colors when she says that. Because who would say, she could say that she's joking all she wants, but she has said that she would be ashamed of somebody who said they were a victim of someone on the internet. She has said that multiple times at this point. So I truly believe that she does feel that way. And there's something I really want to say, but I don't want to because I don't want to be a hypocrite. But you say that you don't care about other people being bullied on the internet, but when people that are close to you are supposedly bullied, like the whole world is ending, and everybody should be held accountable. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Poison Ivy, I couldn't have put it any better than you did. Why are you have a harassment fund if you can't be a victim of somebody on the internet? Make that make sense. That is going to be the next thumbnail that I make. Yeah, so that's kind of what got me riled up, and just a whole lot of the nonsense that's been going on. I don't even know half the people that I'm seeing in here lately, because like I know a lot of people kind of like cross over to other communities, but I've really just been in this one my entire like time on YouTube. Like, I go to other channels and I watch videos, but I don't ever participate in live chats usually. And the ones that I have like tried to participate in, usually it's people much younger than me, and they ignore me or make fun of me. So I just don't even bother. And I'm talking about ones that are like, I don't know, like the drama channels that are involved in like stuff like kind of like a scene that I'm interested in. I know like last summer, and I actually was almost involved in this particular thing, and I know some of you are familiar with it. I decided not to share like my experience with this situation, just because like it wasn't as significant as some other people. But this person wanted content, so they were willing to include me. But I don't know if anybody remembers. I think it was summer of 2020. Chris Hansen kind of popped up on YouTube as a YouTube personality and channel to expose like, I don't know, I guess, pedophiles, I guess. But, and I'm about to embarrass myself really, really badly. And that's fine. I take full responsibility for it. However, that's what actually, Poison Ivy, that's exactly what I wanted to have come out of my mouth, but I was very careful. But, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Exactly it. But yeah, there was a whole thing with a musician from a band called Blood on the Dance Floor. And I was never like a fan. I want to make that very clear. I was never a fan, but I did go to see them live, and I did witness some inappropriate behavior that I was going to corroborate somebody's story who had come forward with their story about, it was the Davi vanity thing. So I saw it with my own eyes, and when they came forward online, I was like, oh my god, I can corroborate that story. But she ended up not wanting to. It was a long story, but I almost got involved in that. But that was like the only other like place with a chat that I'd ever been until I hopped on here kind of in the 2021. There was a special joy in seeing her frustrated. Yes, yes, I agree. Um, and she's just trying to put on a show for people. She says she's 100% confident. Bullshit. Confident people don't behave the way that you do, Natasha, and you're not confident. Um, you say that you're happy with who you are. Well, I find that really sad that you're happy with who you are and treating people like that. I'm not even 100% happy with who I am because I get better, every day I work on myself. And I would never like, I don't know. I'm not unhappy with who I am. I'm very pleased with the progress I've made. She doesn't come across as confident at all. Exactly. And it is the only true emotion she shows, Michelle. That is exactly true. And she can't have it both ways. And that is like the point that I want to scream from the rooftops. Like everything is a huge problem until it happens to the person. And then it's like this back and forth. And like, then you have people that are kind of in the middle, like, does anybody hear themselves? Like, does anybody see how this is hypocritical? Like, you're saying one thing and then you're behaving another way. And I don't think she's like I mean, maybe she is and just doesn't care, but like, it's serious. It's seriously like if somebody does the exact same thing to her that she does to other people, suddenly like it's a huge problem. And then you have people co-signing it, being like, oh, well, it's different when Natasha does it because blah, 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 blah. And I realize that there are people other than Natasha who do behave. I've seen behaviors like that from, but I'm not talking about those people. And I'm not going to talk about those people. We're talking about Natasha. I'm sure I try not to be hypocritical, but sometimes like my, caring about, hold on one second. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to mute real quick. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Let's see. Here's the thing. She loves picking on everyone and saying hateful things to everyone, especially Karen. Yeah. 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 I didn't see what you said. I was actually just listening. My phone, it came up on like the autoplay and I had my headphones on, like my wireless headphones. So I actually didn't see your comments that kind of got her going. But if they had been anything like super inappropriate, I'm sure she would have played on that. So I totally believe you when you say that it wasn't anything horrible. Yeah, exactly. When someone gets all riled up and she starts name calling, she's serious. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yep. She's emotional and otherwise it's pure show. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can tell that she's kind of been like, perfecting her show. For the past, like, I don't know, a while since she's been on YouTube anyway. And she's gotten quite, I mean, I'm sure she's always been manipulative, but she's very good at speaking. And the other thing that I want, like, and she has this really interesting way of being able to keep her hands clean technically, but not like in like action. So, she does, fine. She doesn't say I mean, she kind of does, but like, let's just go out on a limb and, go, because we all know that she says and behaves differently than she said, you know what I mean? So, she says, and I'm sorry, my cat is being ridiculous. Chicky, what are you doing, buddy? Chicky. Oh, he's so cute. So she'll be like, she'll say, it's so hypocritical. Technically she doesn't say you can't go to other channels. Technically she doesn't say, please go to other channels and write really nasty comments. But she doesn't have to say it. It's the way that she acts. It's the way that she kind of, I don't know, makes, like, she doesn't tell people not to, first of all. She doesn't, and she actually said that very openly today, but it's the way that she like presents it. And the way that she speaks, like, tells people otherwise. So yeah, she technically doesn't actually say that, but the way that she behaves and the way that she like, thinks it's funny when subs go over and do stuff like that, or, but that's, yeah, exactly. I actually made a note somewhere. I don't remember. I'm trying to, yeah, she said, if you're over there, stay over there. But then that's the other thing though. And people will see, like, there are a lot of people that were pretty close to her that have, come out of that community recently. And, for your every average everyday sub to see, her turn on the drop of a dime to people who she considered a friend. I mean, I can imagine, and I know this for a fact, you can't help but wonder, even if you're like a nobody, like myself, you can't help but wonder, what is going to happen to me. And if she doesn't come after you, somebody from her chat might. That's also a very real thing, and they will find you, there's a chance that they will make rude comments to you. So there's no way of knowing that. Yep, and that's one of my favorite quotes. Hashtag is like I can't remember the number, but like that many people can't have the same nightmare without some truth behind it. You know what I mean? If so many people are coming, and then she's like, I don't bully, but Natasha, if this many people have come out and said the same thing about you, at what point do you think maybe we should take a look and be like, hey, why are so many people claiming that they feel victimized by me? Hey, Irvin, or that they feel like, I'm scamming. Like, at what point do you take a self-reflection and be like, why do people say this? She just keeps going about the fact that it's all this hate that's carried over from Facebook. I don't even know her from Facebook. Nobody, no, slow down. I will do what I want, but okay. And nobody like followed. I mean, maybe a couple people followed her, but I don't actually know anybody besides like, okay. Not gonna calm down. This is my channel and I talk how I want, or else I'm misunderstanding how you're saying it, but that's okay. I appreciate your concern. Hi, Chicory. But yeah, if everyone's saying the same thing, there's got to be some truth. Now, I mean, are there going to be people that come out and like aren't telling the truth, or maybe are exaggerating? Sure, there's always going to be an in between. Sure, but there's got to be some elements of truth there. I mean, if somebody kept telling me that, if a lot of people are coming to me and said to me, like, you're doing X, Y, and Z, and like, even if I was in like complete denial about it, at some point I'd be like, wait, why are people always saying this? Why? And then I kind of try and figure out what's going on. That's why if they come in here and start on me, I'll leave. I'm not going to let them. Oh, I hope they don't come after you, Poison Ivy. Nobody's going to interrupt my channel, and nobody. Okay. Well, I am chill. Like, this is just who I am. But I appreciate your concern. I just get very passionate when I talk about something that I have feelings about, I guess. But I'm quite calm. You haven't seen me not calm. That's a whole other side of me that no one on YouTube is going to see. But yeah. Oh, this is like why I'm kind of mad that I'm in my Hello Kitty pajamas sitting here. And because I would definitely put my camera on right now because my cat is being very, very cute and he wants to say hello. Yes, you do, don't you, Chicky? Oh, you were on her on the Facebook? Oh, I'm eating a gummy bear. Yeah, it's okay though, Amanda. I'm not gonna worry about it. We don't need to worry about it. As long as we're not saying things that are offensive to people in my chat, I'm not gonna worry about it. Because it doesn't bother me. Yeah, I never really realized that there were like groups for like true crime. Oh yeah, okay. Poison Ivy, you were just always so useful with like reminding me of things that I've wanted to say, and then like my ADD brain just goes the other direction. So I appreciate you being here because that was another thing. They did boot her, and I've always wondered about that because, not for nothing. And I think Facebook's gotten a lot weirder with like what they don't like on it. That's for sure. But this is a few years ago, and not for nothing, but it's not exactly easy to kind of get booted from Facebook. In my opinion and my experience, I guess I've seen some. I have some friends on Facebook who it's actually mostly Mostly people that I've just known for a long time and that I'm not gonna delete. I usually just hide their comments because, like, I just can't stand what they say, but you know what I mean? I don't wanna start any crap. But you're right, and even they like, I have some people who have some, and I'm just gonna say this once, I don't wanna go either way because I don't like extremes of any sorts, but there are some people that have some serious, like, serious extreme political views, and I'm not talking just one side, I'm talking about extreme both sides, who said some stuff that I'm like, "Oh my lord," and Facebook doesn't care. I've reported stuff on Facebook before, that was literally hate speech, and I was told that it was not, and I was like, "Really?" Because I beg to differ. And I don't know if it was hate speech. I want to be okay. Let me rephrase. There's a case that went on recently, the Tristan Bailey case, and it was a young girl, and she was allegedly murdered. So the guy, he has not been charged yet, by a classmate, Aiden Fucci. It's actually an interesting case. It's very sad. And there are people who fangirl over him, and he's in prison. He has not been officially charged yet, like I said, but it is pretty clear. I mean, the evidence is stacked against him, and he's like 15. I think they were both like 14 or 15. And one of the fan girls, because they come up, and I don't know why, like they used to come up in things. I actually, you know what, this might have been on Instagram, but it's owned by the same company, the same umbrella. But there was one that had a picture of Tristan, the deceased girl, with like I even feel horrible saying this, literally had like dicks drawn all over it, all over her, saying that she was asking for it and that she deserved to die and that, Aiden is their hero. And I was like, that is too much for me. Like, I don't feel like that should be, that's, and on that same page, there was some blatantly, very, very racist stuff. Like there was like words that you cannot debate are racist because they are. And there's no, yeah, that one, Amanda, exactly. Yeah, he's trying to act mentally incompetent. I actually truly, in my opinion, allegedly, and I understand that he's a child, so it's a hard one, but I truly think he's a sociopath. He has some, he's kind of scary. I feel like he has some serious mental illness going on, that hasn't quite fully manifested yet. I mean, obviously, did they do that with Shanann? No way. Oh God. I hate that. Who thinks like that? And then there are the people that romanticize like the Columbine shooters and stuff. And I'm really interested in that case, but not because I fangirl over them. It's actually one of the rabbit holes I've gone all the way down. And Amanda, you have inspired me because there are a few, I don't know if they're cases, but just like topics that I think you would particularly really enjoy. Do you have to say allegedly? You don't have to say allegedly. I'm saying it out of, respect to, that person in case that they are found innocent. I don't know. I don't think it really makes a difference, but I don't know. It's part of my vocabulary. I also agree, though. There's definitely some warning signs with that. I didn't know they did that to Shanann. That's awful. And that's the thing. I actually, where I actually came from was Critical K. And I got in there a little late, so I had no idea any of the things that had been said about Shanann. Really? I think I heard that somewhere. Poison Ivy? I think I heard that somewhere. That's weird. And I think that's a whole, like, I think that's always been a thing. Like, look at Ted Bundy. Like, people literally still fangirl. And I've never understood it. Like, I've always been interested in that kind of stuff, but not because I'm like, co-signing it. And that's what these Instagram accounts are. It's really disturbing. In my, like, for me anyway. And I'm really morbid. So like, yeah, Amanda, this is like stuff that's more like morbid curiosity. I guess it could be a case, but if you liked going down like that rabbit hole of the station nightclub fire stuff, because I think that's a really interesting case with a lot of interesting arguments on both sides as to who's culpable for that. If you kind of enjoyed that, I have no doubt that there's some other stuff that I think you'd really enjoy. You should shoot me an email sometime though too, so I could send you some stuff, because I know that I always am looking for new things to look at. And Poison Ivy, you're just like the expert on a lot of this stuff. Like, you've been on here a long time, so you're going to be my like archivist, like historian here. See, I had no idea that Critical K had said the things that I later found out. Um, right. Well, I agree. It can be what you can prove. I think it's also okay to be able to speculate on things, though. I mean, I'm allowed to talk about things that I can't necessarily prove. What I can't do is I can't send somebody to prison for something I can't prove. I can't say that I know facts that I can't prove, but I can talk about it. And I always usually say it's speculation. Hi, Spinning Kathy. Um, yeah, so I didn't really know what she had said at all. So I like found out that out actually quite recently, and I'm like, that makes me feel a little off. But other than that, I did enjoy Critical K. I'm not gonna lie. I actually enjoyed like the different takes on some of the cases. I disagreed with her on some stuff for sure, but there were some times that there's like aspects to the case that I had never even thought to think of things that way. And that was the first creator I actually listened to lives. Hey Renee. Um, and I was like, I didn't even realize like what had happened to her until after it had happened. I was actually not even that long ago. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I had no idea that that her delving into the Androcchio case caused that. I can understand how it did, but I didn't even realize how far that went. Yep, B plus 44 at Gmail. Yep. And I feel bad because I know people have emailed me and I have not checked it recently. Like I said, I am up to my eyeballs in work right now. So I'm playing catch up. Yeah, thanks, Rody Gal. I need mods for that. Remember to hit that thumbs up. Help me out. I'm trying to get that community tab. That's my goal. That's my goal. I want that community tab so I can bother you guys with fun stuff. But yeah, I if anybody has sent me an email, please don't take it personally. Like I said, I've been up to my eyeballs and playing catch up because I've been kind of. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, it must be innocent. You're entitled to looking at things that way, I guess. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but no harm there. I'm not gonna, to each their own. I don't think it's problematic. Not in my chat anyway. But yeah, so that's why I kind of came on. Plus, I was kind of mad that my phone calls interrupted our discussion because we were actually having a really good discussion earlier, and that's what makes me even madder that it's not uploading. I think that there's a lot of good parts of that conversation. Plus, I was glad to apologize to a few people for my own behavior because I'm not innocent either, at all. And there are still some people that I do need to reach out to and let them know, what I've done. And for me, like part of this kind of new start that I'm doing, I guess, like there are people that don't know that I might have said, and I don't even say horrible things about, like I really don't. It's just not who I am. But there are times that I've said something about, other people, and I regret saying it because, as I've gotten to know them, I've found that it's not true, or I spoke out of anger or annoyance about something, and I don't like that. So there's still a few people I need to connect with to apologize. Even if it was something minor. I think the main person that I needed to apologize to, I have, which is Carolyn. That was the main person that I was concerned that I needed to apologize to. And like these people or not, and I don't want to see any negativity about it because this person is dealing with a lot right now. So I want to keep YouTube out of it. But the other person I did apologize to was Kim, with Kim and Crafton, because some of the stuff that I did say about her was out of line. And I did apologize to her as well. And like I said, I don't want to see anything negative about them in here. They're having a really, really hard time right now. And I don't want to bring them into YouTube nonsense until they're good to go and they're able to come on here and, defend themselves, or if they even, they're dealing with some serious stuff, guys. But yeah, let's see. I'm glad you guys showed up. I was like, it's kind of late for me. I'm usually in bed by now because I'm like old. But then I'm like, you know what? A lot of people stay up. I better take that. Well, Irvin, that's what I said. What I apologize for is actually things that are still accurate. I didn't need to apologize for things that Trust me when well, no, you don't have to be kidding. I get that. I get why you'd say that. And I am really worried about Crafton too, guys. It's pretty serious, and it's not a joke, and it's not make believe. And I am worried as well. And I'm glad to see that a lot of people have kind of put the drama on hold, put it on the back burner, because it's not what they need right now. But yeah, no, Irvin, you have a point there. I don't want to go down, like, I don't want to like discuss it, but you do have a point. But the person I mainly cared about was Carolyn, because yeah, right, Irvin. That's all we can do is we can wish them the best of luck, and we can just pray that Crafton pull kind of, I don't want to say pulls through, but get. I don't even know the extent of it, but you guys know what I mean. I don't want to assume that I know anything, because I don't. I just know what I've seen that Kim's posted. Hey, X amount of words. But yeah, with Carolyn, because there was, and I did participate in that. There was a particular, and I remember when it was too. It was on her recliner channel, and it was after she had just done a whole day of the Petito thing, and she was playing that video where Carolyn was pretending to talk to Brian Enton. Of course, she didn't put it in that context. So for me, I thought that was really her pretending to talk to Brian Enton for content, because I didn't go and look for myself what the context of it was. So I was first of all, I was laughing at that, and then that quickly transitioned into the playing of the video of her grieving, and there's nothing about that was funny. Nothing. And I made some comments that weren't necessarily making fun, but they were inappropriate, very much so. And I should not have said them at all. Like, I didn't laugh. I didn't, like, it was more, they were comments that were just inappropriate. Well, I don't, yeah, some creative, that was actually, you guys are really jogging my memory today, and I'm really actually grateful of that, because you're actually, and the hitting of the deer and stuff like that. Yeah, you know what, like, and there's no timeline of grief, as far as I'm concerned, and I cannot imagine losing my child. I just can't even imagine that. So who am I to, and I felt really, really bad, because of course you're gonna I don't think you're ever the same after that. That's a really, really deep loss. But yeah, but creators pretending. So that was actually another point I wanted to make. And I don't even mean this in a negative way, but everybody who comes on here, including myself, and I think everybody on social media, all you're going to see is, like, for the most part, like a curated version of that. You know what I mean? Like, on my Instagram, you wouldn't know that I, like, struggle with anything ever. Okay, Amanda, I'll check it. And just because it's like a curated sense of, hey, yes, you did catch me. So a lot of the time people will put on these personas when they come up here. And I'm not talking about the people that put on good personas like Country Joe, because guys, I had no idea that was an accent. And the fact that she stays in character for as long as she does lives, when her, Scottish accents are heavy. Those are some heavy accents. And the fact that she's able to do that, that's actually really, really talented as far as I'm concerned. So power to her. I had no idea she wasn't American, because from what I was told, that's a I don't know if it's somebody said Creole accent, but like maybe I can't remember what part of the South or what area, but somebody mentioned that, and I was like, you know what, that sounds right. But I'm not talking about that kind of persona. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Country Joe puts on a beard and does this Country Joe persona. It's part of their shtick. I'm talking about, like, people that pretend to be somebody that they're completely not. And I think Natasha would fall under that category, because there are people that take their faith very seriously. And there are people that, really try to better themselves. And maybe there are some really, devout Southern Christian ladies that behave like she does. But I don't know any. And I'm not sure, I haven't met anybody on here yet that, has. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of that is kind of this facade that, they're someone they're not. But the problem is that, she's just been, I just feel like, and even people who have known her for long periods of time have said that the behavior has gotten worse, like progressively. And even from when I started watching her, like it has gotten worse. And I'm not sure if that's because like the crowd has kind of, showed her that that's what they want to see, or if it's something going on with her, or she railed on True Psych Word all day. What was one person? I don't. I don't remember that one. Um, I don't remember that one. But yeah, anybody that I bashed when I was in there without knowing the facts or knowing who they were, I felt terrible about. And I feel like I have apologized to most of them. But then there are those countless subs that I don't even remember who they were, and I'm not under the name I was there, so I'm just hoping if anybody does recognize me, and if I said something that hurt them, you don't have to let me know, but if you want to, I don't bite, and I will say I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, because I don't know any of you either. So who am I to say anything about anybody? Am I though, Michelle? I appreciate that, because I didn't. That's the thing because I do have ADD, like diagnosed, medicated, I've had it my whole life. And I was really nervous to do lives just because my brain is like everywhere. But you guys, it's actually you guys that make it more easier for me, because I can interact with the chat. I think that if I didn't have the chat, I would have to write a script, because that was what I was doing before. I was writing like literal scripts for my videos. And I think I would have to do that and just read it, because otherwise it would be really bad. But no, it really is. It's like, I think like I'd say 75% you guys for keeping me on topic and on track. And you guys are really insightful and fun to talk to, and it's fun to pick your guys' brain. I like knowing what you guys think, and everybody here has been respectful, and I appreciate that. Like I said, I've even had some people that don't usually, come over into chats like this, and they've come in and maybe made a comment that was a little off-putting at first, but then some of them have actually had some insight, and some of them have really made me think about some things. So I'm not closed-minded by any means. It's just nobody's going to really change my mind. The only person that's going to change my mind about Natasha is Natasha. That's it. Like, there's nothing anybody else is going to say to me that's going to change my mind on that. Her behavior will change my mind on that. And I believe that's possible. I actually had a video I wanted to play for you guys tonight, but it's kind of late for it. And it's kind of sort of introducing my special guest. Well, one of my special guests. I have two. But the one that I'm really excited about, because they're kind of a professional in this field. And I think I've mentioned to Poison Ivy, and Rody Gal definitely knows who this person is in relation to me, and why they would come to a puny channel like myself when they, are things that people get tickets to and pay to go listen to talk. But I was like, if anybody, and we're not even going to be talking about Natasha, by the way, like for that, it's going to be like anything true crime for them. Like really anything true crime would be in his field. And then my other special guest is somebody who is very, very, very familiar with the ins and outs of the casino stuff, and is able to explain things in a way that I never, ever, ever could. And this person actually does radio, so they have a really nice voice to listen to, and they're that's what I'm saying. She even said today, it's okay. We all get carried away sometimes, so it's all good. Yeah, I'm not either. She even said today that she doesn't want to change. She doesn't want, I don't know. I don't believe it when she says that she's happy with herself and confident. I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't think she likes herself very much, because 9 times out of 10 people who behave like that generally don't like themselves and have low self-esteem and overcompensate. But if she truly is happy with, the person that she is, in all aspects of her life, including, online, then, then that tells me everything that I need to know about that. That's what I'm saying, though. The only person that's going to change my mind on her is her. at this point. Like they're, I'm not going to listen to anything anybody says when I can see things with my own eyes. But I am excited about the guests too, especially this person literally like because they explained it to me, the ins and outs of the casino stuff, and they put it in a way that is really easy to understand, and they know what they're talking about. So I am very excited for that, because it kind of, when I told this person, I was like, they were like, oh, well, are they playing table games, like, or anything? And I said slots, and they literally laughed out loud, and they were like, dude, I have a lot to say about that. So I'm excited about that. And then for the true crime, there's 3 documentaries that I don't think they're like available. If you have a Prime membership, I do think you have to pay for them. And if I could figure out how to do like a watch party on them, I totally would. But I think people have to pay for that too. And I don't want anyone to have to pay for anything. But this person is one of those, I don't know what they call them, but like the experts that they have, they interview in documentaries. I don't want to say like an expert witness, and I hate saying that this person is in like not movies, but documentaries about serial killers and like cults and mass killers. But they are one of the people that gets interviewed in all of those movies. There's also some videos and books and stuff. So this person knows what they're talking about, and it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm first going to see if like we're going to kind of put our heads together and find if you guys have any questions. I'm going to kind of put them together and then run them by him, and then maybe pre-record it. Depending on how that goes, I might actually do an open panel with him if he's willing, which I think he will be, because he's quite pleased with what I'm doing on YouTube, actually. So, we got over that text of who is Natasha Cooper, and he thought I was making videos about the author in the UK, and I explained to him that I am not doing that, and but we're not going to be talking about Natasha, because we're not bringing that into his professional life. Let's see. I agree, she's not right. And I think a lot of people, and there's no shame in getting counseling. Just because my therapist ghosted me doesn't mean it's not worth doing. I'm very salty about that. And I will not stop saying it. I was seeing this guy for 5 years, and he ghosted me. And I'm it hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. So if you're watching this, you hurt my feelings, call me. Yeah, it's hard to feel pity when somebody is so cruel and closed-minded and stuff like that. And she has a huge blow up with someone and goes off real bad, I think, the next day. She feels bad. Yeah, actually, that's really interesting that you say that, Poison Ivy. Let me check. I know how to highlight comments. Yay! Yay. And I think to move on, I just click on another one. Like I said, it's not that I don't like your guys' comments, but I figured it out. I agree with you on that, Poison Ivy. I think that a lot of the times, like even if she does feel bad the next day, she can't go in and kind of back down, because the subscribers, like, it's a facade, and she can't get out of character. I'm gonna tell myself that maybe she cares because she's a human being. And I also have been very open about the fact that I don't like everything that I'm learning how to do StreamYard. Not that it's that difficult. I'm just really like have a hard time doing 8 things at once. Right, she won't go on camera. Actually, that's interesting that you say that. Let's see if I feel that. Yay. Okay. But yeah, like, I also don't like a lot of the stuff that's been directed at her either. I think there are some times that it's gone too far. Or, you know what I mean? Like I said, I don't like that people bother Hannah. I have no issue with Hannah. I actually subscribe to Hannah because I think that she does a really nice job with her book club. Until I have facts that are, proof that, Hannah is involved in something, which, I have nothing to say that's bad about that. And I'm suspicious of the comments and the supposed, like, things like that. But I do know that there are people that send emails like that because I have received some. You know what? I'm going to even highlight that one. There are definitely, I wish she would just change her ways too. And I forget who said it today. It might have been Country Joe. If she would just stop with this horrible behavior, I would never speak her name again. She's fun. She is funny. There was something that drew me to her in the first place. If she wasn't so mean and, taking advantage of people and just being super manipulative, I wouldn't have an issue. Like, I don't think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people are very hurt by her, though. So I think a lot of people are not going to be willing to apologize or forgive, and that's totally fine because I have seen what she's done. She hates it. Yes. And Poison Ivy, that's interesting that you say that too. I like it when you're in here. Um, because she does cry at times. And it's legitimate, or her voice cracks. And I think that's real. I do, because I've seen similar behavior with somebody similar to her. And when that voice cracks, and a lot of the time it's because something has to do because it affects her personally, but it's still emotion. And she hates when that happens. Well, did I hear that TT say yesterday that Natasha would send her messages to send out or something like that? I did not hear that because I find TT kind of difficult to listen to. I did listen to parts of it, the very tail end of it, when she was really going off. And at first I was very entertained. Like I said, I had a hard time deciding how I wanted to handle the TT situation. Because, at one point, on the one hand, I really, I like that there's somebody who's going at Natasha the way Natasha goes at other people. You know what I mean? Because I don't think we've had that yet. That goes at is willing to go as low as Natasha does, and I think that TT definitely does. But on the other hand, how can I condone the behavior of somebody who's doing the stuff that I speak out about? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if I can support that. I'm not gonna talk crap or really talk about it at all until I have reason to. I'll comment on the happenings, but I'm not gonna say anything, that's too. I agree with you, Michelle. I think that her pain does make her angry. I think that, I especially think that she doesn't like when that mask comes down, or that wall, because she likes to put off this image to her subscribers that nothing bothers her and she's unbothered. But the truth is, I think she's very bothered. And like she said at times, and it's true, she is a human being. I believe that she has feelings. The problem is, though, is that you can't treat people the way that she treats people and then expect them not to respond or react. That's not how it works. And yeah, I mean, it does make you, a lot of the times it makes you wonder, Natasha. It does. It does make you wonder the ins and outs of what made somebody the way that they are and how they kind of ended up where they are. I couldn't tell you. I mean, there are people that have had great childhoods that end up, being not so great people, and vice versa. There are people that have had some really, really difficult childhoods and, turn out to be, people that, change the world for the better. So, but there definitely are factors that go into that, there are a lot of themes statistically. Let's see. Siren Case Jacks have said that before she would go live. Oh yeah. I believe that, Poison Ivy. I 100% believe that. Because that's what she wants. She wants people to react. And I think a lot of the time what she likes is people doing her dirty work for her. So she can technically, say, well, my hands are clean. I didn't do that. It's true, but she incites it. And I 100% believe that, because triangulation and stuff like that, very common with folks like that. And right, because there are people that when they get riled up, get very hurt and behave a certain way. And she counts on it, because that way she technically can just be like, I had nothing to do. Well, but to anybody who's not privy to that, and I mean, I think we all had suspicions, but before people have come forward, I mean, we couldn't confirm it. At least I couldn't. But she does. She wants to get people riled up, and that's what I was kind of saying at the beginning of, while technically she doesn't go and she doesn't say, go to these people's chats and go harass people in the chat, or go white knight for me. A lot of the time she kind of implies, she implied that she wanted people to make these support channels, and she was all butthurt that nobody was making channels that were, about her. And, I can't help but think in my head, it's probably because a lot of people that they can't do it because they don't want to, because of what you do. Um, you see, that's not cool. What's the point of doing that? Yeah, that does show a kind of friend. But as somebody who gets dragged in, like I've had some like a lot of friendships where I'm I'm the kind of person that I will bend over backwards to make people happy a lot of the time. And I especially go out of my way for people who wouldn't do the same for me at all. And I think a lot of the time, like I myself have been very invested in friendships that the other person was just using me, whether it be for money, my car, and giving them rides places. It could be anything, or to like fight their battles for them. And because I've had issues in the past with being bullied and rejection, I've usually tolerated that in friendships. But like I said, since my accident, I've done a lot of work on myself, and I don't no more, no more. We're not doing that anymore, because it's just left me hurt, and there's nothing for me in it, and and that's not cool. That's why she allowed TV to say the things. Right, right, yeah. And a lot of the time she'll pull up people on panel that she knows. There were a lot of times that she used to like almost call for Siren. Like, he was like her guard. I don't want to say, but her guard dog or whatever. She's like, "Where's Siren? Is Siren in the chat? Siren, you need to come up here." When someone said something that she knew would be like kind of triggering or incite a behavior that she wanted. And she does. I see that with a lot of people. I see it with Christiane. I see it. I've seen it with a lot of people, because she wants them to know that somebody was talking about them, or that, you know what I mean. And I've even said, though, the other thing that bothers me is that a lot of the subs internalize, like if somebody said something about Natasha, she has this really interesting way of making subs feel like they were attacked personally when they were not. Because if I say something about Natasha, I'm not talking about the subs. Like, I don't know all of them. I can't speak for all of them. I'm sure many of they do have minds of their, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about them, but she makes them feel, and she actually that even came out of her mouth recently too, that we were insulting them, when it was something about her. Yeah, I'm really like really, really, really confused as to the dynamic with that, Amy. I really truly am, because I'm just kind of at a loss at this point. I mean, what do people like? I was never up on her panel or a mod or anything. Like, what is the incentive of doing all of that? And I'm going to call it slave labor, like, because there's nothing that they get out of it, and she works people like, day and night. She expects people to be available for her day and night, from what I've heard from people who have left. Yeah, it is. It is heartbreaking, especially. Why didn't it go up here? Yeah, like what she did to Glenn when Jess was up on his panel. Absolutely. And the first time that it happened, I felt bad for Glenn, because I was like, I didn't like that, she treated him that way. But then he always goes back and kind of throws himself back at her, and I'm not understanding what he's getting. And I also didn't like that when he was talking about his channel, like not only her, but people came up on her channel to tell him that they didn't like that he talked about that. And it was really funny, actually, because one of the people that came up on her panel was Sally. And in the same breath that Sally was saying that Glenn shouldn't have been talking about, his own channel and stuff, she mentioned that she had a channel. So I was like, okay. But all right. I was also embarrassed for him. And it kind of makes you wonder about like the psychology behind that. I don't want to get into that because, it's really not my business. But at the same time, I have like my thoughts about it. But I was too. Like, he should be allowed, like, if he has a channel, like, they should, first of all, he shouldn't be embarrassed by that. There is no way that he should feel bad that people like his personality that go over there. I personally don't feel that way, but if people are over there and they're interacting, like, Why should he be kind of shamed for that? I don't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And why is he not allowed to have people on his panel? You know, I don't understand why that was such a problem. I think it was a problem because Jess actually, you know, got some actually got some, like, made some sense with him, and was able to kind of pose some questions in a way that I think made him think. And I don't think she liked that at all. I don't think Natasha liked that one bit. Because, I mean, Glenn can say all he wants that he was just trying to, I don't know, to keep the peace with Jess, but I think he meant a lot of what he said, because Jess made a lot of sense. And, yeah, but, of course he's going to retract that statement. And the sad fit, is it bad today? I haven't watched a lot of her today, because I've been busy. I have been up to my, like I said, I've been spending a lot of time on YouTube, and I've been playing catch up. I want to shake a lot of people, Natasha. Not Natasha. I don't want to call you Natasha, but you know what I mean. Natasha victim. She went over. I hate that. Like I said, guys, like, you're like, let's say somebody, I don't even care. Like, all right, let's say Natasha is like bashing me and talking a whole lot of, no, I agree, Poison Ivy. That's what I said. Jess really made some good points and actually gave him information, in a way that didn't feel confrontational, and I do think that it really made him think about things. I could tell. I could feel it. And she didn't like that because, she doesn't want anyone else getting in his head, is my opinion on that. So, I mean, we all know that she's quite threatened by Jess. So we all know that. We've known that for a while. So if there's one person she doesn't want getting to people, it would probably be her. I only watched a little bit of her today. She went after, that's the thing, guys. Even if, like, let's say, like, I always use Rody Gal as an example because I know her, but I'm going to use her again because I know she doesn't mind. If Rody Gal was in Natasha's chat and Natasha was bashing the crap out of me, as long as Rody Gal wasn't participating in the bashing, I could, I don't care if they're in that chat, because a lot of the time people just want to chat with the people that are in that chat. So the only time that it would bother me is if, somebody's participating. And let me see, hold on, Amy. She went after, really? Hasn't she gone back and forth with that person, Amy, many times? There was one time, if that's who I'm thinking it is, and I can't even say their name because it's like a tongue twister for me. I'm just going to embarrass myself if it's who I think that stands for. But yeah, like, there was one time over the summer when, Natasha was playing some stuff that was kind of personal, and it was actually painful to listen to, of that person breaking down and just sobbing, and just, you could tell that they were having a really difficult time. And I actually stood up for them, and I commented on Natasha's video, and I was like, with all due respect, Natasha, I understand that this person, has, hurt you or offended you in some way, but lay off, because do I remember what night? Which night? Which one? I don't know. Are you talking about, what am I saying? Was that, because there's been a few nights that she's gone after that person, but there's also been times that she's like defended. I literally said, and I got eaten alive by her subs, for saying that people should lay off her. And I didn't really know who she was. I was just, and this was over the summer. I think it was in July. It was just really hard, because I, care very much about people, even people I don't know. It was really hard to listen to. I also found her rant several weeks ago very difficult to listen to, when she was yelling and screaming about, going in real life with children, which I didn't disagree with what she was saying. It was just the way she was saying it. I had to not listen to that. Sometimes I feel it's right. It's not anybody's right to tell anybody how their feelings should be. But at the same time, it's At the same time, a lot of them are participating a bad night about. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Poison ivy. I do remember that night very, 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 very well. Yep. I do, and I remember exactly where I was when that happened too, and that's kind of weird. And I know I was eating blueberries. Because I do remember that. That was. There's been a few nights with that person, but I do remember that exactly. Yep. Um, that's the thing. Nobody should be showing anybody's medical records. Like, what? How is that at all appropriate ever on YouTube? Um, at all? Like, uh, I don't ever want to see anybody trying to prove or disprove an illness of somebody's. Like, even with Natasha, with all of the illnesses that she says that she suffers from, I'm not going to question it. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to be like, all right, if she's lying about that, then that's on her. But you really never, just speaking from experience, you never know what somebody's dealing with. So the fact that people try and, bring people's medical records into it to try and like make them look bad, it bothers the crap out of me. No, I understand poison ivy. I think I understand that. I'm kind of not wanting to mention it either. It's kind of like the P word that I don't like mentioning because they have me blocked. So I don't think they're listening. Thankfully. Because I was never anything but respectful. Even the video I made was quite respectful of her. So I don't think I deserve any hate coming back about that, but we all know how that goes. Yeah, that's what I like about this chat, honestly, and the fact that I'm like a smaller channel and the fact that I'm not getting like this is like people that interact well together. I haven't like I said, I've had some people that troll, but for the most part, they kind of get it out of their system and then they're relatively respectful, like nothing that I would be concerned about. But mostly I care about if somebody is attacking somebody in the chat. I really don't care about what anybody says to me. Voldemort syndrome. Oh my God. Yeah. Somebody was saying that she doesn't trust all of her mods with like all the information and she kind of separates it between them. And I'm like, is that like Natasha's Horcruxes? Because like that's the first thing I thought of being a Harry Potter nerd. Kind of putting a piece of it, her secrets into like a variety of different people. I'm a huge nerd about that. But yeah, I like having like a dialogue because not everybody's going to have the same opinion or even feel the same way. I know some people who strongly feel that she needs to be off of YouTube. I disagree. I don't think that she should necessarily needs to be off of YouTube entirely, but we've had good conversations about it. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that you say that because, her one argument with everything is that all us we talk about is her, and I don't think that's very, very true. I think a lot of us, I mean, there's some videos. There's some creators that just make videos, like really that do just talk about her and the people in that community. But anybody who does lives, at least the ones that I've kind of been in, especially lately, there is a variety of stuff, and I think I think the problem with a lot of that though is that they're never as popular as anything else. I mean, for me, I just like to talk, so I'm willing to talk about whatever, and I like that people enjoy it because I have a lot of like interests and things to share. And what makes me happy is like sharing those things with other people because I want someone to talk to about it. But especially for when you have like a large audience, like even Natasha, like I don't think she could even do anything besides drama because if you look at her numbers when she's doing not drama and then you compare it to when she's talking about other people, I'm telling you the numbers are kind of there's a big difference. She says, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I forget who said that, Poison Ivy. Somebody said that she doesn't trust ever, like I forget who made that point, but I'm like, you know what, that makes sense. Like, because if she can't have everybody know everything, so she right. And then but then like there's that weird perk. If you pay a certain amount, you have the honor of being part of a chat with her and her mods. What a treat that is. Definitely worth $25 a month. I mean, come on. Who would not want to be in a group chat with a bunch of Natasha diehards, Natasha herself, and a bunch of mods. That sounds like paradise. Not at all. Oh, hey, Dorothy. I appreciate that. Like I said, I like I think I have something nice going. I agree with you, Michelle, on that. Small chats are nice. And I think that a lot of creators miss that when they like they grow. Because the small chats are fun for the creators too. And I know that a lot of creators don't mean to not see the comments that are, coming in the chat. And there are people that get very, very upset when they don't get noticed in chat. I've noticed. And not everybody, but there are some people, and they feel really hurt by that. But it's not the creator's fault. I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I know anybody who's done this knows that. There are times when like you're trying to focus on one thing, or the chat's going so fast that you can't possibly see everybody. Gets you failed in indentured servitude. Yeah, the algorithm, she did get lucky with that, and all she did was restream. Absolutely. So that's why I get such a kick out of when she says that, she built her channel on her own merit. Well, I beg to differ. Like, your channel, I mean, she wasn't a huge channel before the Petito case, and it blew up then, but it wasn't like she had a talent, like she was doing, sharing a skill. She was literally streaming the news. And they weren't even doing a whole lot of commentary. And when she needed like something to like filler, she would have an open panel, and hope that the people that came up were she would hope that the people that came up were interesting, I guess, or able to communicate well. Which there were some people that came up that were well spoken and had some good points. There were some people that came up there and I had no idea what they were talking about, but that it takes all kinds. And I think anybody's really brave to go. The first time I went up on her panel, I could barely talk because I was so nervous, and I was on camera, so I didn't not put the camera on. So you were, hold on. She was on her true crime channel, Dorothy. She was on that today. I believe twice. I believe she was live. It might have not been twice, but it was at least once. And she was getting called out in it because people were like, we already know all of this. And she was like, well, if I had wanted to be the first, then I would have reported it yesterday when I found out about it. And I was like, all right. And she actually had Lynn up with her this time to talk about it. And I was, I kind of clicked over there because I actually hadn't heard the news about the Petito case yet. And, after I found out, actually, I went to another channel to get, and I know some people here are familiar with this channel. They came up in my suggested. I feel like there's somebody here who has like a history with them. So I don't, as far as I know, there's nothing bad about this person. The channel's called 10 to Life. I found a lot of really short, informative, easy to digest clips about cases. So I ended up just looking at what she posted. Because it was easier to understand than what Natasha, because Natasha always goes on tangents and then was talking about stuff that was just not relevant. Yeah, I enjoyed it too sometimes, Michelle. Absolutely. I participated in it. I'm not going to lie. And for me, I didn't have I wasn't entirely upset about the fact that she streamed. It's more in you know what I mean? It got to a point where it got a little much when she was kind of tooting her own horn about it, when everybody knows that it was just streaming. But at the time, I'm lazy. I wasn't about to go try and find, WFLA. I mean, I live way up north, so I wouldn't even know how to get that. You remember the night? Yes. Oh, Glenn didn't know that? Yeah. Okay. Well, Glenn hasn't been around for that long. Glenn's only been around, I remember, I feel like he started showing up around the time Doug did. And that was later on. You're right. So let's see. She brags that, right? She does brag that nobody is better than her at true crime and stuff like that. But there's literally countless channels that do true crime in a professional manner, and do it really well. So I'm not really sure. And, she did get a huge influx, and the algorithm, you're right, Poison Ivy, she must have hit the jackpot with that. Like, that's how, like, I was with Instagram. I happened to get on in there at, like, a time when the algorithm was super sweet. Um, but I could never do it again because the algorithm is much harder. I would never. I was almost at 129,000 followers, and I don't think I could ever do it again. Even now that I know how to build things like that, I manage people's accounts that they already have. I don't think I could build anything like that ever again in my life. She started a recliner because that's right. I remember her. Was she the one that was it the something about a refrigerator? Um, I think. Was that the one that they actually got off of YouTube entirely? I believe it was. Oh, let me get rid of this person. Yeah, I never really knew what the problem was with that and why she was so upset about that, but I do remember I had clicked over onto Mysterious Case Files at some point, and I remember it being very heated drama a lot of the time. What am I doing? No, I don't want to hide current. What? Let's see. Yeah, okay, it was her. Yeah. I don't think anybody should be running people off of YouTube, I guess. I mean, I'm not familiar with it though. And I'm not actually, that's one case that I know a lot of people have gone like down the rabbit hole with, and really gotten into and feel really, that's what actually got me off of Instagram, Poison Ivy. So I feel that. And it was really low how I was booted, because I was told I had permission to use that, and that person changed their mind or was convinced to change their mind after a bunch of people didn't. It's a long story, but yes, behind the scenes nonsense, because I didn't like the fact that that person was using my platform as a Tinder site. They also wasn't happy that I turned them down. Not on here, on Instagram, when I had my larger platform years ago. And I did try to get the channel back. I tried very hard to get it back, but I gave up at one point because I'm like, you know what? I kind of like not having the responsibility of managing an enormous channel like that, because it got to be a lot. It was like a full time. I actually had to like hire people to help me with it. And hello, Ninja Mama. A lot of people did, yeah, during the Gabby. She did, and she did delete a lot of the videos on the recline thing. And I feel like if she was to unprivate a lot of those, people could see the truth. But I don't think she's ever going to do that because she knows. But she's also not going to delete them because she doesn't want to lose the numbers. If my understanding is correct on how that works. I'm still not familiar with YouTube analytics entirely, but I believe that if you delete it, you lose some of the I'm not sure if you lose the watch time. I would hope you don't, but I don't really know how it works. I know that it's not to our benefit to delete it entirely. No one struck me on here, thankfully. Not yet. But I'm not going to put myself in a position where that's going to happen either. No, I know. Like I said, I just at some point I kind of liked the fact that I didn't have to deal with it. I more felt bad for the people that I had employed to work on it, because I was paying them to help with it. And obviously I wasn't, I don't know, because it gives you a little bit, like, for what I was doing, it was music related and it gave them a little bit of clout. And and then the pandemic happened, so I can't even reward them with, some tickets to some concerts and backstage opportunities like I promised. So as soon as I'm able to, I will. But I had people all over the world working. I had one woman in Puerto Rico. I had a woman in, where was she? I believe Spain. I had some people from the U.S. I had somebody in Argentina. Like it was a big operation, and I was like going on other platforms too and trying to build. I still have my platform for it on Facebook. I just don't ever do anything with it, but people still follow it for some reason, so it continues to grow, and I haven't posted on it in like 5 years. Let's see. You just got home from work. Time for YouTube catch up. There's a lot to catch up on today for sure. And then right. That's right. Robbie gave her one of the channels for the 2.0. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember that very vividly. Yep, that was over the summer. Yeah. And I mean, she does kind of bring up, she is able to get to, to get to monetize pretty quickly, but it's because she already has that following. Like, she already has the audience. She always brags that she's like, I have 3 monetized channels. Well, it's the same people. I don't really see that as an accomplishment. I mean, if you want to build 3 channels in 3 different genres with different audiences, that's an accomplishment. But when you're just kind of transferring subs from, I don't know. I don't see that as impressive to me personally. But to each their own, I guess. But she does brag about it a lot. I also don't know anybody who has 3 monetized channels because that 2 of those are under somebody else's name, or I don't know how much, you know what I mean? Like, because they have to be. You can only have one AdSense account for your social, if I'm not mistaken. So it would have to be under somebody else's name. And I feel bad for the people who do that, because I feel like they think they're being a good friend, and she's just gonna that's it. That's all good, Irvin. You work a lot, huh? That's always a good thing. I probably should be working more than I do. It's not that I do freelance stuff, so it's not like I I do as long as I get the projects done. It doesn't matter when I do it, as long as I get it done but I always wait till the last minute to get stuff done. Right, it is for the memberships and the money, absolutely. And there's nothing that's going to change my mind about that. And I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like, who in their right mind? Oh, Poison Ivy, I hope you feel better. I hope you don't have COVID. It seems like everybody is getting it now, so I hope it's just like a virus that, runs its course shortly. But yeah, go later. I'm not going to be on much longer because it's almost midnight and I have not eaten dinner yet. So, yeah, whoever has their, right. I would never do that for anybody either, for a lot of reasons, and not just because of the taxes. But right, yeah, she does alienate her subs by the members only. And to be fair, I do understand the logic behind, like, if you're gonna have memberships, you kind of feel like you want to do something special for the people who do support you. But like, I would never want to do like the chats that way. Like, if you want to do something a little extra special, like, I don't know, make stickers or something. This is like from when I did music stuff, or like bracelets or merchandise, and send that out to people who pay a little extra. I think that's a good way to do that. But I would never want to alienate somebody from my chat. But I think a lot of the time hey, take Turtle Gum. It's more to keep people that she doesn't want out. But no, it's for, like, who is subscribed to her on all of her channels? Like, and I'm sure a lot of them are, but it's like, you're paying 3 memberships. Like, what? I try and support people. Like, if I like a channel, I'll grab oh, good night, Dorothy. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I hope you have a good night. Yeah, you have an interesting sleep schedule, but you should get some sleep. Get some sleep. You've been on here at all hours lately. Can I talk narcissism in 30? I can. I'm not sure. It's true, Michelle. You're not wrong on that. And the reason for that, I believe. You know what? I'm gonna ask somebody who actually knows what they're talking about that, to further clarify why that is. And I'm going to get back to you on that, because I want an explanation that isn't just me and my opinion. I want somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, and I know just the person. And I will contact him. But yeah, we can definitely talk about the narcissism stuff. We can definitely talk about they would have to recognize no, absolutely. I get it. I get that. That makes perfect sense, actually, Michelle. That makes perfect sense. I'm going to highlight that. I've wanted to, because there's also the narcissistic cycle of abuse and stuff, which, if you look at that, because not all narcissists, there's different kinds of narcissists, and I want to get my ducks in a row before I start talking about it, because I want to make sure I'm accurate. but there are different types, and they manifest themselves differently, and a lot of them, are kind of triggered by different life events. Is my understanding. So I will Tick Turtle Gum. Let's be nice, please. Okay, we're all welcome here in this chat. I like both of you guys, so I don't want to go down that road. I'm not gonna say you can't talk. I know you can say you're entitled to your opinion, but I like both of you very much. So, was she Tick Turtle Gum? Was Natasha saying that your alt was the Natasha victim? Is that an alt of yours, or is she like losing her mind? Or you don't have to tell me. You can you don't have to give away your Batman identity there. Okay, all right, Tick Turtle Gum. I'm just always because when you read comments, you can never Natasha victim. So maybe you aren't the same person. I don't know. I don't know who anybody is, but she was saying you guys were the same person. So that was interesting. But I have seen people, talk to themselves in chats as different people, but I don't know why you would do that. You have, yeah, I think we all have. Wait, what? Oh, wait. I think I do too, but I know, actually, Rody Gal knows what my alt's name is. And I don't go in there to troll. I go in there. What the flying F nugget? Oh, I hope I didn't block somebody. Yeah, so I don't know if you know she was saying that about you, but she was saying that you were Natasha victim. You guys were the same person. And I was like, I don't know about that, but maybe. Yeah, my alt has a name that nobody is gonna forget either. So yeah. Definitely send me if you have any questions or anything for me. You can. I wish I had I actually might have it on screen recording. Actually, Tick Turtle Gum. I might. I'm gonna have to double check on that, and I don't know if I can look at that right this second. Oh, you do have it. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, regardless, you don't have to give up your alter ego there. It was funny. So if that was you, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. There's so many people, so many different names. Now I feel stupid. Oh, there's more than one. Okay. Which one was going in there then? Which one was poking the bear today? Thank you, Poison Ivy, for clarifying. No, that makes sense that I didn't actually look at the numbers. That makes sense. That makes sense that there would be more than one, because I'm sure there's very, very many. Okay. Yeah, my alt has it has actually the name of a customer I used to have. Okay, so it was the other one. All right. A customer that I used to have. And it's like, I can't even say the name without laughing. But I usually just go in and say hi. And it's usually, I don't really use it for malicious purposes. I usually I'll just change my own name. I didn't even want to change my own name. I just did B+ because I honestly, because I wanted to participate in Granny's chat, but I didn't want to go in as myself because I was like embarrassed because of my behavior. And I also didn't want, Natasha to see. So I just quickly changed it to participate. And then people know me as this, so I have not changed it back, and I'm going to work with this. We're going to work with B+, where it's all about the bees. It's all about the bees. I've got a really nice intro video coming. She has you blocked on that one? Oh my god. Yeah, you mean like her phone number? Yeah, she has it scrolling on the bottom. I don't know why she does that. I really don't. I would never, ever, ever put my personal phone number on the bottom of that screen, or any phone number that's related to me. Especially her. Oh, you figured out who I was from my picture. Okay, that's fair. I mean, once I had like apologized and people were like really welcoming and accepting, which I really appreciated. At that point, it wasn't even like the people in Granny's chat that I cared about knowing who I was. In fact, I wanted people to know who I was. It was more people from I just didn't wanna, I actually put my foot out the door a little bit and then went back and then, left again. Um, because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. And I did originally think Granny was an old woman. I remember listening to her for the first time, and I was like, "She doesn't sound old." So, I'm like, "That okay, but I'm not gonna, maybe she's just, like, in really great shape for, like, a 75-year-old. I mean, maybe that's what it is." But I remember, I'm like, "What?" I was so confused, and then she was like, "No, I'm not." And I'm like, "Alright, that makes more sense." But, I think there was a time that Natasha thought that she was, a guy at one point. So, I think a lot of them have had some theories on who she was at one point. Um, I just thought it was funny. I also thought she had, like, a little bit of like, an Australian accent, like, at times, and then it would kinda switch into a different one, and I was like I thought I was going crazy. But I think, I don't know what that is. I think maybe that's just a Philly accent, I'm not sure. There's definitely an accent there. Kim did too. Yeah, Kim definitely yeah, Kim knew who I was, yeah, yeah. I think she was the first one that acknowledged that they recognized me. Um, yeah, I definitely like I said, I don't wanna go down that road because they're dealing with some serious stuff, but I definitely apologize to her for some of the things that I said because some of the things I said were not appropriate. I like that everybody here chats nicely. Like, I really do. It makes me happy because that's not, like, how it goes everywhere. There are some places where chats get taken over real easily, and I'm talking about, like, the smaller channels that people think that they can easily troll and kinda take advantage of. Um, and a lot of people don't end up staying very long, or if they do, I don't see them anymore. But there have been some small chats that I've gone in, and, they just get overrun, and I'm very glad that that hasn't happened. Natasha she does like to have a theory on everything. You know what? I think I've heard that one. That's right. I think I have heard that one. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, maybe you're like the people that I mean, you could be Tick Turtle Gum. I definitely in my analytics now, I do have, an age group of 13 to 8 or 17. I do have a small percentage of apparently 13 to 17-year-olds that watch me. So, I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe it's you. No, I don't think that's you. I know you're on a it would be funny for somebody to go out and troll like old ladies, uh, channels though. I mean, sometimes, trolling doesn't always have to be malicious. There are some trolls that I think are quite funny, and I think they're more annoying to the creator than anything else, but to me, they're funny. When she told me she was before yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. No, I know she did. I know she did. Yeah, I remember hearing her name, but, like, more closer towards, like, the end, and I remember there was, like, a community post, I believe it was about her, if I remember correctly, if my memory serves me, because a lot of the time I'm oblivious to, like, names, I don't remember them, and people change their names so often on here a lot of the time that I can't keep up. I can't keep up, but some people do recognize and you know what? It was one of the most validating things in the world when Liberty Farmer first came in here and acknowledged that I was one of Natasha's, like, big donors and that I participated in that chat because I was like, she continuously told me she doesn't know who I am, and she does. So, yeah. Hindsight is always 2020. Well, hers is, and mine is as well, though, because there's a lot of stuff that I knew was like something wasn't right about it, but I ignored it for some reason. Um, yeah, I don't blame you for changing your name on that. I think you actually have a really cool name, and I really like your picture. I think it's adorable, and yeah, I like that it's like your persona on here. It works. And like I said, I'm making B plus work for me. I've had like several people ask me if I'm like a beekeeper, and I'm like, no, I'm actually allergic to bees, but that doesn't mean I can't be one if I want to be. I mean, I can be anything I want on the internet. Um, who knows? I could be a 75-year-old woman. I'm not. I'm not. It's like that documentary though, and it's actually a true crime case, Tall Hot Blonde, where the woman was using her daughter's pictures to catfish a guy that was using pictures of himself when he was like really young, so they were kind of both catfishing each other, and it led to a murder. But yeah, no, that's me. That's pictures 100% me. Yeah, no, I like that you guys are like a lot of you are really interested in other stuff like cases, and there I'm not even talking about like big true crime cases. A lot of the stuff I want to talk about are just like, oh, you've seen it, Michelle. Awesome. Not many people have seen it. I think she figured it out. Oh, she had to do his back. Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. You mean like, well, true, true. I didn't even know that. Well, I guess it does come up. Maybe I didn't actually even know that you could, like I said, do the live chats and replay it until like 2 weeks ago. So I would love to pick your brain about that, Michelle, because I am also a documentary junkie and I am running out of ones, but I have seen some real good ones and I wanted to like do like a top 10 kind of thing. I don't know about an open panel. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable coming up on panel, but I would love to have people if they're willing. I also would love to play a nice game of Would You Rather, because I think that game can be very, very fun and we can play it with the chat. Just putting a 1 and 2, and there's some really funny ones. But yeah, I've seen some really, really good ones lately. And there's some that I would love to talk about because I don't think that they're well known. But it seems like you definitely, well, that, I mean, the Tall Hot Blonde is kind of an obscure one at this point. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Yeah, well, you said you emailed me, so I will check that tomorrow for sure. Because I'm gonna get off here real soon because I still have to eat. I really don't like eating this late anyway, but I really wanted to come on here because I was interrupted earlier and I was cranky about that. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, and I'm not even just talking about true crime. I'm talking about like weird and creepy stuff. You got catfished, Poison Ivy? Oh my god, the FBI? That's nuts. Oh my god. I actually have a hard time watching that TV show, even though I kind of want to. Because some of those are just weird. Like, I don't understand why people do some of that stuff. Like some of them I see the motive, like they want, like some of them use others for money. I guess some of them are just really insecure, but some of the people aren't bad looking, like they're not that bad looking. So why they have to do that? I mean, that I don't know. There's something going on in their mind that they don't feel like they're good enough. Yeah, I'm interested in that Poison Ivy. That's absolutely insane. Oh my goodness. That's like there was like a documentary where a bunch of women got catfished by a guy and it was like a big deal. I don't know about catfish. I don't know what the word would be for it, but he was like in a relationship with a lot of people at one time and using them all for their money, like wealthy women. I'm sure that did Poison Ivy. I can imagine that would mess up anybody. That's insane. That's like that could be a document, like a Lifetime movie. Tall Hot Blonde actually has a Lifetime movie counterpart, and it's not terrible. I preferred the documentary, but I mean, I'm a sucker for Lifetime movies, and now I have a whole new appreciation for the psycho granny and like stalked by my granny, like the Lifetime movies because those exist. Those are definitely two ones that exist. So I get a chuckle out of that every time it comes up because I have the channel on my Amazon Prime. Yeah, Poison Ivy, that is insane. I would imagine that would mess. I mean, if anything, it is like, yeah, that was documentary was. I mean, yeah, it was a plot twist too because I wouldn't have never guessed that they were both catfishing each other. Because you led to believe that it's just one thing, and it's like really like what are the odds that they were both doing that? I mean, clearly they did, and it's just it's nuts, and it sucks that somebody got murdered in the crossfire because yeah, that should not have happened. And I don't think the woman. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if like legally anything she did was wrong. I mean, I'm sure her relationship with her daughter is forever affected. I know if my mom was using my pictures on the internet, I would be, especially like with like I don't know, in the way that she was using them, that would be a little weird for me, I think. I think that would creep me out a bit. But I don't think she actually had any legal repercussions. I mean, moral repercussions, sure, but if I recall, I don't think they could charge her with anything, but I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've watched it. Um, and I think the guy has since, I don't know, did he pass away? He might have passed away because I looked it up last year. I could be wrong. My memory is terrible. I have a really good long-term memory. And I don't know when my short-term memory like switches over to long-term memory and I remember that, but short-term memory, no. But I am going to get off of here because I should go eat and it's kind of late. But I will be back on tomorrow at some point. I have some work to catch up on, so I'm not really sure what time. It might actually be earlier in the morning, depending on what's going on and stuff like that. But I agree, Michelle. I've actually have some stories of my own. Nothing that was as crazy as what Poison Ivy's mentioned, but I definitely, yeah, I'm gonna eat my sweets too. I've already been eating my sweets, but I have cookies. So, and it's Girl Scout cookie season. Yes. I remember. Okay, I need to order my Thin Mints because Thin Mints are they're my jam. I don't really like any other Girl Scout cookie, but Thin Mints, good lord, like they're dangerous, and I probably shouldn't even have them in the house because I'll eat the whole thing. But they're really good. Put them in the freezer, so good. I am gonna go eat my sweets though, but I'll probably be on earlier in the morning. I haven't really decided. It depends. I do have a ton of work to catch up on, like I said, but I'll probably just end up doing it Sunday. Because as long as I have it done by the end of by Monday morning, it's all good. But yeah, I will let you guys go and go. If you guys are going forth to the YouTube streets, stay safe. Don't poke the bear or poke the bear. I mean, I know I trust the people in here. You guys know that she doesn't mean anything like that, and you guys are strong peeps. And with my luck, I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up to some bombshell dropping that I have to catch up on. But I hope you all have a great night, and thanks for stopping by. I always appreciate it. I couldn't do any of this without you guys. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you, honest to God. I did not think that anybody was going to watch me, or if they did, I thought they would be really disappointed after my first live, and they would never come back. But I got so much positive feedback from you guys. It's really been building my confidence. And I really, really appreciate it because it's actually helping me come out of my shell a little bit and giving me some socialization. And I really enjoy it because I've always liked the people in this community. So you guys are all awesome, and I will see you guys whether it's here or in somebody else's chat. Definitely tomorrow. All right, have a great night, guys.